Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crazy Bees. We are out in the garden this morning. We've already done all of our watering. Now we need to get all of our babies into this tower. We've got kale, we've got merlot, dino kale, Swedish or Russian kale, romaine, spinach, many different types of lettuces in here, and we want to try them in our tower and see how they do in here. I think they're going to do very well. So we're going to get started doing that. Dino kale. And we've got two here, so I'm going to separate them very carefully. Welcome to your new home.
Pretty color.
This is Swiss chard.
Oh, I love Swiss chard.
Alright, we are back in the garden. It is supposed to be up to 96 today, so it's pretty warm. So everything's looking a little bit sad right at the moment, but I think it'll be okay. I'm just going to take a quick spin so you can see what's going on. We have all kinds of different lettuces in here. We have the butter crunch, we have loose leaf, we have the kale, Swiss chard, Russian kale, dino kale, curly kale, butter crunch, what else do we have in here? Oh, and the merlot is in here, which is right here, and it's looking kind of sad right now. And the Swiss chard. So that's what we had started with when we started this morning. Then I had all of those babies of the pepper plants there, and then you saw some beautiful pictures of the roselle hibiscus, and I've got more of that drying out right here. You can tell when they are ready, they start getting a little bit harder on the ends, start curling just a little bit. And then you want to dry them out, take out that seed and dry them out. So I have more that I'm going to have to pick, but that is a good start on that. It's been like a month since we've been able to see our fireplace, so it was nice to get that cleaned off. And then we started doing the planting of all of our brassicas. They just had to get out of those little pots. So, let me show you what I did. I did not have a good place just to put them, so I had to put them everywhere. So here I've got, what's this one? This is the Brussels sprouts here. And then we have a cabbage in the middle. and then broccoli right there at the end. Then let's say hi to our crazy bees. Yep, they're still here. Hey girls, hey girls. Okay, tomatoes are doing good. They are getting established. This one's got a lot of flowers on it. Let's see if we can zoom in and see those. Those are beautiful. And then we went over here to the one where the mice had eaten that one tomato plant, and we put in brassicas. I've got some of the broccoli, cabbage, the red cabbage, and another, I think that's another, no, that's a Brussels sprout. So I did a little variety pack in this one. I know it's going to be a little bit crowded, but I was listening to My Gardener, and he said that, you know, they might come out over the edge a little bit, but they should be okay. So we're going to see how that does. Or if you really just need to do one per pot. These guys are getting hit by the sun right now. So we got 4 in there. We put 2 in that one. I was looking for anywhere where I could plant anything. Then I came back here and we did, oh, what's happening here? Well, let's take care of that. I wonder if I didn't do it or if Scarlett's already found her way. She's the other rat I'm worried about. Okay, and I took and I put a little bit of compost on the top too. So we'll see how that does. I did not do, see, what I thought I was going to do at first was interplant them with the pepper plants so the pepper plants could grow up and they could shade them. But the more I researched it, the more I realized not a good idea, because they would steal too many nutrients because they are heavy feeders. They would take too many nutrients away from the peppers and the tomatoes. Oh, and the other thing that we did get done is in the pepper plants and all of these other beds also, I put that garlic that we had soaked. So there's garlic in there also. And here is more of our stuff here. This is the cauliflower. This whole bed right here is cauliflower. Okay. Then I did take a couple of pots, and I had enough soil for filling a couple of pots. I put 2 in each one of those. I think I'll end up having to take one of those out. And I also did it in this one here. And then I tied up the roselle some more, and I put the trellis here up and got all of that off of the ground where it was laying all over the ground, so that it can go up and get to the sun and not be getting trampled over on the ground. And then Tom, these are the tomato clips that we used for that, and we use that for the tomatoes. We use it for a lot of things. They don't last more than 1 season around here. They burn up. Tom did some planting of the Christian peppers in that pot, so we got those done. Oh, save the bees. Save the bees. Go over there. Go over there. Get up there. Go on. I don't think he wants to be saved. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. There you go. There you go. Okay. Then over here, this is where I used to have my parsley. We put some more in there. This one, I'm not sure if it'll do anything. It has a lot of rock in the bottom of it, so I'm just going to try it out. That was a baby broccoli that looked like it was going to end up going to the chickens anyway, so I thought I'd try it out. And then this guy here, I believe that's a red cabbage. And then I came over here. I just put them everywhere, and it's going to be impossible for me to protect them. So I'm hoping that, you know, we put some here. I just kind of interspersed them in like a V pattern. So I went there, and then I came down here, went back up there, all the way along here. So I used this whole back garden for brassicas, hoping that that'll be good with the shade from the cherry tree. And that's starting to get some flowers on it. Let's see those. Yay! Maybe we'll start getting some cherries if the birds don't get to them first. You wouldn't believe the amount of birds that we have around here. Okay, this garden was too full for me to do anything, but we are trying to keep the pepper plants tied up, and they are just loaded with peppers. So then I did have those two, the one sugar daddy snap pea and the sugar snap, that were the only two that germinated, and I put those two right there, hoping the mice don't get a hold of those. We'll see what happens. Oh, look, we have a friend. Hi, lizard. Hello. They're so good for eating bugs. My okra is going wild. I was going to pull that, but I'm like, you know, I still haven't had any meals of okra yet. So I am going to determine to make one meal of the okra before I pull it out. And truly, you guys, am I ever going to get to this? Ugh. You know, it's... Oh my goodness, I've got to make this a priority at some point. But the mint is loving it in here. It's going crazy. I guess it's good ground cover. And then we put a red cabbage here and here. And then I believe this is the last place I put any, was I just put one right there, that little red cabbage there. Oh no, I put a bunch of broccoli all around this whole base of this tree, because it did do very well in the other one, and that's where I got the seeds for this one. So hopefully that'll help with aeration in the soil, and hopefully those ones will grow. So that's what we've been busy with out here. We're pretty well done outside for today. It's pretty warm. So let's show you what we're going to do inside. Okay, so we are inside, and one of my ladies had gotten these from a friend of hers. Her site is called the Posy Post. I'm trying to make sure. Backyard Posy.com is where you can get her stuff. She's selling ranunculus bulbs right now, but she had given some to Marina. Marina, thank you so much. And right now we need to take these. They look terrible right now. I mean, don't they just look dead? What I've read is I need to take all of these and I need to put them in this water. And I need to let them soak for 3 to 4 hours. And what's supposed to happen is they are supposed to double up in size. And after that happens, we'll come back and take the next step. All right, everybody, we're back inside. It is hot out. I think it got up to 96 degrees today. We did all of our chores. Now we are going to have dessert. I have really been craving something pumpkin. I want fall to be here. It's supposed to be here. It's not supposed to be 96 degrees right now. So we're going to start with doing some pumpkin white chocolate chip cookies. Oh, doesn't that sound good? Okay, so let's start with our butter. Okay, we have our butter. I am doubling this recipe So it calls for, in the original recipe, a half a cup. I am using a full cup of softened butter. And then it calls for a third cup of brown sugar. We're doing 2/3. A third cup of white sugar. We're doing 2/3. And our vanilla, it called for 1 teaspoon. We're doing 2 teaspoons. And it called for 1 egg. We're doing 2 eggs. We're going to cream this together. Okay, we're back. Okay, now that we've got our wet ingredients mixed together, we are going to add in our dry ingredients. Here we doubled our recipe, so we used 3 cups of all-purpose flour. We are going to use my own pumpkin pie spice mix that I did. Your original recipe for pumpkin pie spice mix is 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ginger and nutmeg, and a half a teaspoon of allspice ground and ground cloves. I, of course, like quadrupled that recipe, so I would just have this for whatever I wanted for pumpkin lattes mostly. But we're going to use that because I don't have the pumpkin pie spice, so I just made my own. So we have the pumpkin pie spice we need to put in there, and then let's see, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, teaspoon of baking soda, and a half a teaspoon of salt is all in here, and I've incorporated all of that except for the spices. So I'm going to add a little bit at a time so that I don't get a big poof of flour here, and I'll just add half of my spice mix here. Before I add the rest of my dry ingredients, I'm going to put in my pumpkin puree, which is 1 cup. I was trying to use up the whole can of pumpkin, but I would have ended up having to triple the recipe, and I just didn't want that many cookies. Let's get that incorporated. Okay, and then we're going to add the rest of our dry ingredients. My blender does not start out very slow, so I always end up getting a little poof of my dry ingredients unless I start to incorporate them before I start the blender. And now we are going to add our chocolate chips, which is going to be 2 cups of white chocolate chips. We're just going to get those lightly incorporated in here. Okay, and then you drop by teaspoons, or if you have a small ice cream scoop, you can do it with your ice cream scoop. And I have already prepared 2 baking sheets with parchment paper, and I have my oven preset to 350 degrees. And we're just going to drop these right onto this sheet. And then let's see how long we cook them for. 14 minutes, or until the edges are lightly golden brown. And then we'll come back and see what they look like once they're done cooking. We are going to put our cookies in the oven. I almost forgot to. I get distracted. Okay, cookies in the oven. Did we say 14 minutes? Okay, timer. Okay, I had that timer set for the ranunculus. So it says 3 to 4 hours on that. There was still about a half an hour left to go. So we're going to get that going while that first batch of cookies is in the oven. So as you can see, these guys have plumped up really nicely. They have doubled up in size. They look like little octopuses. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the claw sides and put them down. Now I got some soil from outside, some regular potting soil, put it in here, pre-moistened it, and now I'm just going to softly set these in here. I believe I have 10. You don't want to push them down. You want to be very, very careful with these, not to break them. And they're called corms, C-O-R-M-S. And I'm hoping by the end of this season that ours will double or triple and we'll have more to plant next year. So we're just going to kind of plant these in here. Now see, this one looks like it's a little bit dried out. We'll have to see if anything actually happens with that one. It looked a little bit, there's some that look a little bit darker and not as light as the other ones. And I really don't want to dig a hole for these guys, because what I'm going to do next is take them back outside and put some more soil on top of them. And then I'm basically just going to be leaving them alone for the next 14 days. And then after 14 days, we're going to come and see if they've pre-sprouted. I would like to pre-sprout these because they say that they're good for about 8 months, dried out. And I'm not sure how long these have been dried out. So we need to pre-sprout them to find out. See, this one here looks very dried out. I don't think it's going to work, but we're going to try it anyway. There's only one way to know, and that's to try, right? Okay, so we've got all of those in there. Now I'm going to take them out and I'm going to put some more soil over top of them, and then I'm just going to leave them alone. I'm not sure right now if I'm going to leave them outside or if I'm going to bring them in the house and put them under lights. I'll let you know what I decide to do with that. All right, you guys, we are just about done for today. I am going to take these corms and I'm just going to set them outside where they're not in direct sunlight. They'll be fine for sprouting doing that. They do like colder weather, but they don't like temperatures below 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So they're going to do just fine here. I'm really hoping that they sprout though. So I just don't want to be taking them out there if they're not going to sprout, because I have such limited space and what I can do with everything outside. So we got done with our cookies. They look amazing. I tasted one. They're very soft and they just have such a nice texture to them. Very good flavor. If you want a little bit more of a cinnamony, nutmeg kind of flavor with the spice, I'd add about another half a teaspoon. That doubled recipe made about 4 dozen of the size of cookie that I like. I like a medium. Our last batch is in the oven right now. So thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us today and making some wonderful fall dessert and getting some beautiful fall flowers started and all the other things that we got done with planting our brassicas and everything else today. We hope you have a wonderful week and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.